Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. There he is. He's over there someplace. Tonight, we're going to do something completely different, and we're going to reference and talk a little bit about blockchain, cryptocurrency, Ripple XRP. We might even mention the SEC because the SEC is continuously losing ground, and there was 408 million XRP moved to somebody. To somebody. We'll figure that out. We'll talk about who that somebody might be. 408 million XRP. That's almost $500 million in other terminology. So we're going to get into that. We're going to talk a lot more about many other things.
Right after
Ready to kick this thing off? Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
What's going on, everybody? Listen, dump in there where you guys are from. Put in the chat, city and country. We like to put it up there as we're talking. What's going on, J. Roy Brogrogrunjun? I don't know. We don't know what that is. HBI is here. What's going on, HBI? Hi, y'all. Rob XRP is here. Yeah, Rob. I was like following. You had a couple tweets that were pretty good today. Saw them out there.
So
Rob XRPs.
Man, there was a lot of good stuff once again in the news. There's some interesting tweets that came out, something that you had put up that we'll reference. We'll get into talking about if you had invested $1,000 a year ago, what would the value be? And once again, XRP is always coming out on top, with a 420% increase year over year. But then I went back, Chip, before we get into talking about other things, I thought it was interesting to reference the S&P 500 because I looked at the S&P 500 and I said, all right, what was it June 3rd of 2020? And it was $3,080.82. Today, it closed at $4,192.85. That is a 36% increase. So you look at it and you look, hey, we're seeing some good movement. Some good gains, a lot of movement in the market year over year. But man, digital assets, XRP at 420%. And we're just getting started again. Just getting started. I think there's so much more going on. And trying to think, I've read so many different articles just since yesterday, trying to figure out some of the things that were going on. And I saw some uplifting stories also that I wanted to share. But where did you want to kick this thing off?
Well, I just wanted to give a big shout out to some people who are coming in. Look at this Singaporean. This is Elong Yang from he's Singaporean, but he's from
what's up?
But he's from Berlin. We've got Island Foster
East Berlin.
From Oregon, we've got Jan Erik Baum from Norway. And I probably screwed that name up pretty well. We got PA in the house as well. I like PA. I lived in PA for a little bit. So it's always great. Reno, Nevada, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, we got New Orleans.
You gotta say Nolans. Kelvin Nolans. We say that right, Kelvin? Nolans. If you go there and you go New Orleans, and they're like, what?
Yeah, who
I would get me some of them crawfish. It's like, oh man, I could go for some of those. Yeah, last time I was there hanging out with some buddies, we did some fried turkeys and just a giant table full of crawfish. It was phenomenal.
And the Golden Stool is all the way here from Clearwater.
So this
Clearwater, Florida, New Zealand.
New Zealand in the house.
New Zealand came up on my TV the other day, and I was like, oh my God, there's a place I haven't been yet that is the picture that came up was so outstanding. Man, New Zealand looks awesome.
LA, Hawaii.
All right.
Yeah, Bammer.
So XRP, man. XRP.
So yeah, guys, always appreciate that. Throw that in there. If you're watching this on the playback, put it in the comment. I'd like to know where you guys are coming in from. It's always great for us to know. We know we're coming up from. We're actually, Miami-ish, if you will. And,
hey, can I share
Miami conference going on? Just go ahead, share
that's right,
Jeff.
man. I want to share this. Really, I think it's an uplifting message. This is on Instagram. I don't know if you've seen it yet. But I thought, man, I was like, this is such a great place to start out the night because this dad and his daughter just like hit things like spot on. And I was watching this earlier
Oh, I watched.
today,
Yeah,
and have you seen it yet?
I haven't seen this one. I
gotta.
watched the one with the dad and his son. Yeah,
Okay.
there was a dad and
Yep.
a son that just like broke my. It was like touched me in such a. Oh man,
Yeah.
it was such a.
So here, let's see if we can play this here. See if it'll work.
You have sound?
Daddy teaches you can be anything in this world that you want to be, right? Don't Daddy teach you that?
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you're black or white or any color.
Doesn't matter if you're black, white, brown, yellow, right?
Black.
And how we treat people is based on who they are and not
And if
what
they're
color
nice.
they are.
And if they're nice and smart.
See, this is how children think right here. Critical race theory wants to end that. Not with my children. It's not gonna happen. My baby's gonna know that no matter what she wants to be in life, all she has to do is work hard, and she can become that.
Work hard, even though you don't know anyone. You can make friends.
Oh man.
Yeah, you can make friends, no matter what color they are. So we need to stop CRT. Period. Point blank. Children do not see skin color, man. They love everybody. If they're good people, they love them.
We pray for people that are hurt.
Man,
Oh man.
I was
Hey,
watching that.
some goosebumps there, man.
That was
Wow.
awesome.
That was
Awesome.
excellent. Yeah, it's
It was
always
a
good
great
to start
place
off
to
with,
start the
yeah,
night.
it really is a great place to start, and it's always great when you see a dad and a daughter having that interaction, and not only that, but just like putting out the right kind of messaging. And it's right, man. Kids don't care about much. They don't care if you're rich, you're poor, what color your skin. They don't care about any of that stuff. But if you're a jerk, then they care about it. Like, stop being a jerk. You know what I mean? That's what they'll tell you. Stop it. You're being stupid, stuff like that. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
a good message. There was one that I had the other day that was it was one of these, another one. Maybe we'll play a little bit later in here. It wasn't as it just was one of these things that just like was a cool event. I don't know. I think I shared it on my Twitter. I'm looking for it. I'm gonna go out there
Yeah.
and look for it. But yeah, we
Very
got the
cool.
Miami Bitcoin thing happening, and there's some stories we'll share out of things that happened there. I think are pretty
Bitcoin.
interesting. Yeah, well, but it's funny because like all those meme coins are there too. Can you imagine? You're like one of those meme coins. Like now they got Kate coin, Kate. It's not a dog coin. It's a cat coin. So it's called Kate. And I'm like, they have Karen's handbag or whatever they have, and
Too much. Too
my
much.
buddy sent me a
It's getting out
story.
of control, man.
He sent me a story the other day about a guy that became like a millionaire off of ASS token. He bought into ASS like the first day, and he became a major ASS, millionaire. I don't know. I mean,
Nice.
that's what happens. I mean, yeah,
Could be worse
that's what
things in
absolutely
life.
happens. And what are you gonna do, man? It's a crazy world out there. But yeah, the Bitcoin
Right.
conference is going on. I think the next 2 days, right? Doesn't it? Part of it started today.
Yeah, it started today, and it's going to be going on tomorrow. I think it goes on the 5th, 4th, and 5th as well. So that'd be goes through Saturday.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The whale day was today. So if you paid like $20,000 or $21,000 for a ticket, that was whale day, and that was today. Tomorrow the ticket starts. I think it was like around $1,500. And if you paid with Bitcoin, you got a little bit of a break.
Well, I wanted to show you this because CZ put out a tweet. That's Chaipao Zhang, whatever his name is. That's the CEO and founder of Binance. And oh yikes. Talk about something, Jeff. I'm gonna have to do some authorizing here because I'm
talk
using a
about
new
something.
browser. Talk about anything, Jeff. I don't know.
Let me talk about something.
Talk about
No,
anything.
you know what? So, I've been watching, it's interesting because this came out. I'm going to try to open this up. Now, I keep looking at what Janet Yellen is up to, what she's doing. And, I keep referencing, well, as we go through this and we try to look at the geopolitics of everything. But Janet Yellen seems to be continuously absorbed in this new world order-ish mentality of and doesn't really seem to be on board with the idea of decentralization and freedoms. And here's another one, and I'm trying to look at this from a perspective of countries that are also getting ready to roll out their CBDCs, and the Bank of Thailand, which we'll get into later, is also now investigating central bank digital currencies. But I'm looking for kind of the danger that is lurking within. And one of the points here, let me see if I can pull this up. Hang on a second. Oh no, this isn't the one. Hang on a second. That's not the one I was referencing. Maybe I opened up the same twice. Oh no, here it is. Okay, here it is. So here it is here. Let me put this up here. There we go. So Janet Yellen aims to win support for a global tax deal. Now, the objective here is that the U.S. wants to raise corporate taxes. You have other countries like Ireland with a super low corporate tax. The U.S. wants to increase it, but in order to offset an increase in corporate tax, they also want to, set up a scenario where the whole world is kind of on par with one another. And while they're doing this and they're orchestrating this kind of level playing field from a taxation perspective, so they want a global tax, we start seeing the CBDCs rising up also all around the world. And so we have to look at this narrative of what's going on. And there was something else I'll have to dig through. There was another point that I was going to make in regard to, some of the CBDCs, as there's kind of a comparison between, and that's with the Bank of Thailand. They're looking at the difference between a wholesale CBDC and the retail CBDCs, the potential impact. But I'm starting to see this global narrative, country to country, Chip, where they want the CBDCs, they want this, mechanism to potentially program the money, and they want to move away from the decentralized freedom aspect. However, the people are always going to rear their ugly heads, and they're going to be the defenders and they're going to be on the front line, and people at the end of the day aren't going to put up with it.
Exactly right. And that global tax thing, that died as soon as they mentioned it. First of all, no country's into that. This is the narrative they were trying to float a couple months ago. Oh, people are super excited to pay more in tax. Find me somebody on earth, I don't care where they live, find me somebody, except for the phonies, the elites, that say, oh, I would be more than happy to pay more money. I wish they would raise, this is how the billionaires, they deflect the heat. They go like, I've been trying forever for them to raise my taxes. Well, when you do your taxes, you can donate any more money you want, and it's optional, right? So you're full of garbage, and that's just a bunch of BS. And they're not really interested in that. So nobody's interested in a global tax. And at some point, Jeff, it just has to be said. And I don't know if I can say it now, but I'm prepared to make the comment because it really is getting out of hand. And cryptocurrency, when they start coming at it, that we are at a great spot because they don't like it, trying to kill it, trying to squash Bitcoin. Now, is it a coincidence that all of a sudden they're going after, what do they want, Jeff? They want green. Everything's green. It's not really green. You buy a carbon credit, what happens? Somebody makes money. Does anything happen to the earth? Nothing. Does somebody get more money in their pocket? That's exactly what happens. So you follow the money. So what do they start attacking? Well, they attack the oil. That's not on the green agenda. Attack the oil. But it's some outside force, some ominous presence in Russia, whoever you want to blame it on, is attacking the pipeline for oil, to move oil. Then there's all these articles floated 2 months ago. Remember, Jeff? You're going to eat crickets. You're going to love it. You're going to love eating bugs and crickets. And we really don't need meat on the planet anymore. And it's bad for the environment. Hey, speak for yourself. I'm not down with that plan. And then where they start attacking the meat plants, come on. It's just a little bit too.
The whole narrative, man.
The whole thing is absolutely silly. And I did find out what I was wanting to pull up here before. And I want to throw this up on the screen because, CZ, he put this up. So he goes, hey, I want to see photos from Miami of real people hanging out, right? So he throws that out there because he wants to see. Did you just go black and white, Jeff?
Did I? No.
Oh, for a second, you went black and white. I don't know what happened.
Might have. I may have.
There's that or there's something going on in my mind, right? So he goes, I want to see photos from Miami of real people hanging out. So we'll give you real people hanging out. So then the reason this is partially off the screen was apparently the intern over at Binance photoshopped CZ on this yacht in the middle of the Miami harbor, right? The problem is CZ's about 140 feet tall. If you look at a person being my cursor right over here, right? This is a person standing there. He's about 400 feet tall, standing on the ship. It's like, oh my God, run! It's a giant CZ, right? And then Yeah, I said
That's funny.
CZ's 100 feet tall. Bad Photoshop. But then
That's
CZ
funny.
said, he said, the intern deserves a bonus, right? No, dude. Is that all? Is that what the
That's
is that
right.
what the intern has to do to get on CZ's radar?
That's right. Get him a bonus.
All he has
Get
to
the
do is
intern a
that.
bonus.
Can we see a bigger version of CZ on a boat? Surely you can
Like a little
afford.
RC boat
Yes.
that you have in your pool or something.
Yeah, so everybody started going off on about that, but I want to go back to this one because this is where all the fun starts, right on this one here. And yeah, there's CZ on a boat, and then so of course there you go. You've got the I think that's the Miami mayor, and this is Vitalik Buterin, right? So you got this is just some of the best thing I've probably ever seen here. Let's see, is this it? No, it's here we go.
Can you,
Here we go. Look at this.
can you zoom in on his name tag?
Yeah, I'm gonna zoom. I'm gonna see if I can zoom in on his name tag a little bit there. So you're Vitalik Buterin, okay? You're the oddest duck in any room, in any city. It's like you could go, like the Where's Waldo? It's like, where's Vitalik? Oh, there he is. He's just he's thinner. I don't know. There's something about the guy. He almost doesn't look, they joke about Mark Zuckerberg looking like an android. Okay, fair enough. I don't even know if he looks human at this point. I was like, he has, and somebody put this little clever thing. They actually, he had to put his name on there, dude. We know who he is. Who doesn't know? It's like, who's that guy over there with the Nike hat and the odd look in his eye? I don't know. It's Vitalik Buterin. It must be, right? And then, so yeah, that was one. And then what else do we have here? There's a whole bunch of other ones. This dude here, and then these are the crypto doggies are in Miami, of course, on the beach. And this is South Beach. This is not Miami Beach. This is Miami Beach. They've got all these like cool little guard, light, what are those called? Lifeguard stations like that. So somebody just obviously photoshopped that in there. Somebody said, I haven't had too much time to do much, but I went to this cool little gallery, like inside of a tent thing. And there were like a bunch of
looks
NFTs.
like an NFT. That is an NFT.
Yeah, it's like all
gallery.
NFTs playing on screens. And so that was kind of cool. Somebody saw that. And
those screens that didn't even look like a real venue.
Yeah, this one here, it's like the conferences I go to, Jeff, like you might wear like maybe a polo shirt and a jacket or a button-down shirt and jacket. You don't go full suit because that's the bankers conference, which I've been to, Jeff, and those are the most, you want to talk about the most boring conference I've ever been to. Like it was 9 a.m. and I said, well, God, we got to start drinking because it is actually called, it's a bankers conference, right? So, and
so I was looking at that picture, Chip, and everyone's a little too casual. That looks more like a Disney World conference,
right? It's like just kind of like wearing like fanny packs there and shorts, and it just looks like a bunch of tourists. This guy's obviously from outside of the area because he's not wearing a mask. Everybody else doesn't give a rat's butt. And if anyone's read those Dr. F ouchies, those emails, what does he say in the email? The mask doesn't.
He's in trouble. He's in trouble.
A lot of lies, nothing.
He's definitely in trouble.
We talked about that a year ago, Jeff. It's not even. It's like a year and a half ago. We were all over that, right? So you're like, yeah, it's a little bit there. And then this guy here says, yeah, here's my pick, but I'm not joining those crypto clowns. I live here. So he's like, he's got his breakfast there. It shows you his his little spot, view of the ocean there. And then we've got somewhere in Lima. I made this for Binance. So yeah, this is the Binance logo, and a lot of people are making cool logos out of the Binance thing. And then we have I'm in the middle. We're all holding hands. This is there's Alex Mashinsky right there on one of the stages for the Prime
look
Trust.
at that.
Yeah,
yep, nice
Prime Trust stage, and honestly, and then somebody this is clever. Somebody took a razor, a pen, and a little black pen, and they carved into their flip flops the Binance logo. And hey, it's creative, right? I mean, everyone's doing the Binance logo.
Should make that into an NFT.
Yeah, just the Q8 right there. Someone saw a Q8 in the parking lot, so that was interesting. There's the FEG token. I'm not sure what that is, but it looks cool.
Why is that interesting?
Then there was the what? I don't know. It's the FEG token.
No, the car.
Oh, that was the car. Oh, you're looking at the car?
There we go.
Is a Q8.
Okay, nice. Very cool.
It's a Q8 parked at J07 with a European license plate on it. So I don't know.
Look at that.
It's not obviously not Miami, right? I mean, apparently not. And then there's the Miami girls, apparently. There's the Istanbul, a bunch of different stuff. But anyway,
This is all
Yeah,
the
there's
Bitcoin conference?
Bayside. You know Bayside, right? Bayside. You want to talk about weirdos, man? You just go to Bayside.
There's a
and
place to
like,
go. I haven't been down there in a long time.
well, Bayside has some great. I've been to some really great concerts down there, and it's great because
Been
there's a whole
years.
backdrop of the city there, which is fun. It's kind of cool. Except when it's in the
Yep.
middle, somebody found a cool oasis.
I
Do
think
you know where
New
this
York
is from?
Hostage New York Hostage got it right. Looks like a Comic-Con.
It does
That's
look
what I
like
was
a
trying to
Comic-Con.
think.
But they're not in
I
cosplay though, so you know.
No, it wasn't last summer. It was the summer before. I brought my son to the Miami Comic-Con,
I wanted to go to that, Jeff.
and he had a blast. He had a lot of fun, but he was
Did you
more into. They had a Rocket League competition, and so
There you go.
he came in second place, which was really
This
cool.
is kind of cool here. They
Oh,
go, we
he's fired
stumbled
up.
onto. How do you stumble onto that? Just walking along one day and they stumbled onto this. The gem
Is
they
that in
found it
Miami?
in.
That looks
Says
more
it's
like
in
a.
Miami. I don't recognize it, to be honest with you.
It's probably in a hotel.
It's man-made. Yeah, it's all man-made. It's not like it's
All right.
in Ukraine. Everybody, here's the lunar team coming in from I think they're coming in from France, and this
Oh, these
person's
are
like,
just
screw
Bitcoin
you.
people coming from everywhere.
Yeah,
That's
this is
not
screw you.
Miami.
That's like
Oh,
Bali's fun.
Bali. Bali's more fun. I get it.
Bali, it probably
Not
is,
we
but
don't
it's
have a
not the
lot of
place
that
to
going on.
be.
There
People
you
are
go.
hanging out with sharks, people, a bunch of Miami Vice pitchers, the dev team having a great
Yeah.
time in Miami. I mean, Now, this one was kind of fun. I'm not going to read it, but you all know who that is, right? Mr. Cardano himself. And somebody said, yeah, ADA is definitely going up. So, then there'll be a hangout in, in Miami. So there's all these like big parties going on. But anyway, it's a lot of fun. Everyone's having fun. And you know what? Not us, Jeff. We got a job to do. We got to be here. And we got to hold down Thursday night. Can't be at after parties for Bitcoin, Jeff. I mean, that doesn't
That's
make a lot
right.
of sense, does it?
No,
Why
that
would
would
we
be
do that? We got to
that'd
be
be
here
terrible.
talking about
Be horrible.
important things. I mean, what else can we
Somebody's
really
got to
talk
do it.
about?
Someone's
Right?
got to do it.
Someone has to do it. It might as well be us, Jeff. But yeah, that looks like a lot of fun. I mean, yeah, no, I don't even think that's on the level. I'm looking at that picture again. It's not even on the level of there's no cosplay going on. It's like
So-
bad tourists in Europe is what it looks like, that picture.
Right.
Bad American tourist.
So I'm trying to get rid of all these ads that popped up. So what was up with this 408 million XRP move?
Well, that's our pal. That's got to be Jeb, right? I think they made is that his final payment?
It says here Ripple wires 408 million XRP to Jed McCaleb.
Yeah, Jed. I would call him
Helps
Jed.
top exchanges shift 110 million XRP. Is that the final?
I don't know, but it's like, I mean, can you imagine? You can't sell that stuff fast enough. And he doesn't care. It's like, no, I'm not going to hold it. He's like, sell it at $1, sell it at $1.07. He doesn't
And what's
care.
he doing with it? Let's see.
I don't know. Jeff.
Ripple gives McCaleb another XRP lump. He starts selling immediately. There you go. Staggering amount landed in his taco stand wallet, 408 million coins. This sum is worth $420 million at the current price of $1.04. Let's see. He's already started selling his new XRP, sending 16 million XRP away.
Man.
So he'll sell this amount of XRP daily this week. 16 million a week. He's been selling the same amount.
Million.
He's been selling the same amount of XRP per day since May 30th. So he's been selling 16 million per day for the past couple days.
Right, roughly $16 million, give or take.
But look, it says here, at the moment, the Ripple Labs co-founder and creator of the rival company Stellar has 633 million XRP in his digital wallet.
Yikes.
So there you go today. There you go. 633 million. So he had 200 and whatever million sitting in his wallet before he got the 408. So he's not selling all of it. I mean, he's holding a couple. He's holding a little bit there.
Tell you what, that's an awful lot of jack right there. That's a lot
ton,
of money
man.
right there. That's a lot of money. So, just out of curiosity, Jeff,
Like
if let's go back to June 3rd. We should probably pull up a chart here. I'm just curious. Maybe somebody in the chat can do it faster. But if you invested $1,000 in XRP 1 year ago today,
I got it on our keep file.
Oh, you
I
did
added it to the list. Yeah,
did you add it there?
I did. When I was
right.
calculating, when I was calculating
I
the
see that.
S&P
Yeah.
500. So if you invested $1,000 in XRP 1 year ago, is at 20 cents a year ago. So you're getting 5 for 1 a year ago. So you get a pretty decent amount of money, right, for your 1,000.
Yeah.
So your $1,000, which was 5,000 XRP, is worth $5,200 or $5,200 today. Your $1,000. So you've gone up by 420%.
Wow.
That's not bad.
It's not bad at all. There it is right there.
Year over
on the
year, a
screen.
420% increase. I like it.
So 1,000
like it.
at 20 cents. That's how much XRP was that? 5,000
5,000 XRP, which is now equal today $5,200, which is a 420% increase.
And there it is right there. Yeah, I mean that's
There you go.
and people are like, well, I mean, you can do all kinds of things with that. Or you can say, well, I didn't have $1,000. All right, so you put
Yep.
$250 in there, and you still walked away with 20. You know, roughly what is that? 5,200 divided. It's still about over $1,300, $1,350, something like that. Some decent money. So that's pretty
That's right.
cool. And then
I like it. I like it.
yeah, I like it a
Hey.
lot. I like it a lot, Jeff.
Patsy Green is still saying that they're in lockdown in Ontario. They can't even buy underwear. What's up with that?
Oh man.
Man, I've got a workshop coming up at the end of the month, and we got some people up in the Toronto area.
Mm.
They told me today, they're like, I don't know, we probably can't get out of Canada. I'm like, oh, that sucks. But
Well,
life has to go on. Workshop continues.
so you've got your provinces up there, and you gotta a lot of here in the States, like the states have their own sort of leadership, and they're like, that masks are ridiculous, so
Hey,
yeah,
check it out. Mama Lacey's on. Mama
Mama
Lacey has been around with us almost from the beginning. From the beginning. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. Sorry, you want to go through some of these other stocks?
I'm gonna pull it up, but I just wanted to show something. Why
was that on a tweet?
Yeah, I have it right here.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and show this one first, because I want to show this. This is, so you live in Canada and you want to know, you see, like, so you could wear your like homemade mask, which looks just like, I don't know, it's like this, right? That's your homemade mask, those covers you wear like that. But these are what virologists wear. Do you want to know why? Because air doesn't get in. You see what they got pumping inside that? They got air coming into that and out of that. They're not breathing through a cloth. You want to know why? Because viruses can penetrate cloth. Viruses are so tall. It's like a chain link fence trying to keep out mosquitoes.
Pesky little virus.
They're hooked up. So it's like, but I'm sure your homemade mask is going to do the same thing. I'm sure it's just as good. So
oh yeah.
I'm sure it's not a
XRP Speedboat. What is up? You could buy a Tesla side view mirror with that $5,200.
Hey man, but that adds up. Like you said, you invest $5 this year. What's it worth next year? $6? 7? Do I hear 8?
Kelvin is now got a like and a sub. Oh, and by the way, I did put it on the thumbnail, but thanks to everybody from the video yesterday forward. But we crossed the 16,000 subscriber threshold. I don't know if it was this morning, last night, whenever it was, but we did cross the 16,000 subscriber threshold, which is outstanding. So big thumbs up to everybody.
Yeah,
for getting
16,000. So I put a dollar sign there, Jeff, because it looks more exciting. You put a dollar.
Yeah, a lot more exciting with the dollar. $16,000 in subs. It's awesome.
I just like putting that dollar sign in front of 3 letters. You put the dollar sign, XRP, dollar sign. I'm so used to doing that. The hashtag, the dollar sign has to be everywhere.
16,000.
Well, let's check this out, Jeff. Look at this. So I like this. So John Ehrlichman put this up. He's like, so let's look at the value of $1,000 invested a year ago. Dogecoin. Yep. Dude, if you put $1,000 in the Dogecoin a year ago, $156,448, and you thought GameStop would turn into something. I mean, quite honestly, it's gone down. I mean, if you probably sold it in the December, January, February, you would have probably gone way past what Dogecoin was. But let's just look at Ethereum. Almost 12 grand right there, which is pretty good. Thank you, Hans. Appreciate that. Hans loaded. What's he loaded with?
Got a couple of those gains.
And then you have, look at AMC. AMC's up to about 11 grand. So that's pretty good, man. 11x your money.
Now, so if you bought $1,000 worth of Tupperware, your Tupperware would be worth $6,800.
I think that's Tupperware stock, Jeff. You're not
Right.
actually buying those little plastic things. Problem with the Tupperware is you
So
buy
I
those
got some in the
things,
closet.
you never. The lids are. It's like just walk away like socks. You always have like one sock. You're like, what happened to the other one? No one know what happened to it.
My problem is I have more lids than I do containers.
That's well, I have more containers than lids. You see what I mean? You've been
Yeah.
probably have to get together and have a Tupperware party, Jeff. We can
That's
like match lids and
Now I understand the concept of the Tupperware party.
you see what I
Now it
mean?
all makes. It wasn't about buying more. It was
Now-
about exchanging.
Now, would
keeping
you
everything.
expect to earn more on Tesla? I mean, check that out. Tesla is at $3,400. I would have thought if I said Tesla, how much would you think? More than
What's it?
3,400.
Well, for your 1,000. Well, I don't even know what it was at a year ago, but I think it was still pretty high a year ago.
It was pretty high a year ago. Then you have
And it's,
Moderna, the vaccine makers, 3,100.
Right now,
Gap Clothing,
Moderna, yeah.
$3,000.
Well,
Now BlackBerry, this shocked me. I'm like, BlackBerry's still around? Are you kidding me?
yeah, I saw that on there. I don't understand what they do anymore. I know
I don't know what they do.
they don't make hardware anymore. They gave that up.
No, they don't make hardware.
So-
I don't know. Do they? I think they own a bunch of patents, so they might be making some money off that. I don't know what they do. You're right. I
Could
don't
be.
know what
They
do.
still make some software. I don't know. But man, I remember, Blackberries were I loved them. I love my Blackberries.
No, I had a BlackBerry.
greatest
I got
thing ever.
rid of it. I hated
I had
it so
multiple
much.
Blackberries.
Did not love the screen at all. I didn't like it.
It wasn't great, but it was, I could
Well-
type without, it was,
Well, I
everything
had the
was
physical
perfect.
keyboard, and that was kind of cool. You know what I mean?
I
got
love the physical
Palm.
keyboard.
When
Yeah.
Palm came out, I just liked the screen better, and the keyboard was better. Like it was a better BlackBerry, in my opinion. Until one day I walked out in the rain. Instead of just like almost dropping it, I tried to catch it. I kept hitting it in the air, and it went higher every time until it just cracked on the ground.
I had
Then
one of
we've
my,
got-
I had one of my Blackberries stolen on a trip down to Mexico.
That'll
I
happen.
was in
Jeff.
Monterey at some bar. Disappeared.
Check this out. 2 years ago, I'm in a desert town where my brother-in-law lives in northern Chile, and I go into he's showing us the water, and it's like it's like a town, but everywhere else, like if you start driving, it's desert as far as you can see. It's the wildest thing ever. Driest place on earth, and we're like walking along, and I go, you know what? I got to use the restroom. So I go to this little kind of cool little kind of touristy little cool place to like sit outside and half inside, half outside. I go in the restroom. I cannot find the light. I'm looking everywhere. So what do? I balance it on a shelf and I put my light on and I use the restroom and I wash my hands and I leave. Then I like walking along with everybody, catch up with the run up, catch up with it. And I realize, holy cow, I don't have my phone with me. I'm
Right.
like, so like
remember
I
this
start
story.
running like a nut job. Like this is day one of my trip. I'm never going to see this thing again. So I run in there. There's someone in the bathroom. I'm banging on the door. The guy comes out. I'm trying to speak my broken Spanish to him. He looks at me like I'm nuts because I'm like 7 feet tall, like, hovering over this dude. And the guy's yelling at me. I said, hey, I lost my phone. He goes, oh, no, it's here. The guy pulls it out from behind the counter. Somebody found it. I'm like, what? Jeff, that was like Chile went way up
I'm
my
shocked.
block. I'm like, a little town. Just phenomenal. I like that. Somebody turned it. The guy went in the back, saw the light was on, put it to the guy behind the bar, and they found it. And I was like, great.
Oh.
But look at,
But check it
Where?
out. I know where my Blackberry ended up.
yeah, I got a free
John
BlackBerry.
Joe got a free.
John Doe
That's
nailed it. So Square 2,500, Etsy, yeah, not so bad. Goldman Sachs, Jeff, 1,800. That's sad for one of the big biggest bank in the U.S. Apple, disgusting, $1,500. Disney, 1,400. And
Look at Apple. I mean, come on.
Apple's, that's dismal, man.
But Apple was already high too back a year ago.
It was. I mean,
It
a
was
year's gone by. Well, you know
overpriced.
what? It's basically been stuck, hovering around the same price for the last 6 months. So
Oh
there
yeah,
hasn't been a lot of
it's
movement on it.
Apple can't even pass. Microsoft is blown past Apple. Like,
Well,
it's
don't forget
crazy.
it split. It did a 4-way split or something.
Oh,
like
that's
that.
right.
Yeah, so
That's
that's
right. I
why.
forgot about the Apple split.
Yeah, so it did a little split, and there's
The
always
Apple
that.
split.
But the split, no, the split it was lower when it split. I think it ended up being
Oh, yeah.
125. It was 600 when it split.
That's right.
I
That's
remember
right.
it was 125.
That would have been a nice thing to be in when you split.
It would have.
I've
been.
never had a stock. I had a stock do a reverse 10-for-1 split. That wasn't any fun.
That's no good. But you know what's funny is that anytime I've sold something and then it split like 3 to 6 months later, like there's no like advance warning, like hang on this for a little bit, then you can sell it, and everything will be cool. Remember we had Congressman Warren Davidson on the chain here? I think it was 3 weeks ago.
I remember that.
We dressed up and wore jackets, and he dressed on and wore a polo. Yeah, that's how it works on the chain. Sometimes things work out that way, and a lot of people were goofing on us on crypto Twitter, going, "Look at that! He's dressed down, and those two bozos are wearing suits." But he was actually speaking today. Congressman Warren Davidson compares the U.S. dollar to Dogecoin. This I love, man. Look at this. That's just a great graphic right there.
What a great statement.
And Congressman likely made the comparison due to Dogecoin's enormous and ever-increasing supply. Like the USD, Doge miners are rewarded 10,000 Doge per block, and blocks are created every minute. It sounds like the Federal Reserve, doesn't it, Jeff?
It's exactly like the Federal Reserve.
He says this means that 14.4 million Doge are created per day. What do you got there, Jeff? Oh, he's holding on a second. The panel.
You can't hear the dog barking?
No, I can't hear him because you have your.
Oh, really?
No, I don't hear him.
Oh, wow.
He's
I don't know
filtered
if
out.
anyone else can hear him. He's really loud. He's over here. That's great.
No,
If nobody can hear him, that's awesome.
I don't hear him. It says the panel comprised of various financial industry leaders: Ryan Luber of Wisdom Tree, Matt Hugin of Bitwise, Steve McClurg of Guggenheim Partners, and blah blah blah, and Republican Representative Ohio Warren Davidson. But Jeff, did we mention the fact that he was on the chain 3 weeks ago? I think it was maybe yesterday. I don't remember.
They should have mentioned that.
I don't know if I mentioned that, but the topic of the panel was to discuss the potential for a regulated Bitcoin investment product like ETF.
Nice.
And I want to see what he got on the. So when the panel was asked what they thought about a Bitcoin BTF, Congressman Davidson said he was positive the SEC would begin seriously considering the option. I'm optimistic we're going to see some momentum out of the SEC. I don't know what that is all about. Is that it? That can't be the whole thing, Jeff. What happened to the rest of the article? Holy cow. What happened to the article?
Dog won't give up. Alex, yeet. Man, we haven't seen Alex on for a while.
Alex in a while.
Yeet. What is going on?
But since it doesn't really say what that is, I don't know. Something happened to that article. It's not 100% incomplete, but Davidson kind of basically said right here, this is what he called it at. He said the Fed basically is Dogecoin in the US dollar while talking about how much money is printed going on by the Federal Reserve. They're Dogecoining the US dollar. And, 14 million per day. I mean, they're catching up to the Fed in a big way. So it's like, when you have this ginormous, Dogecoin is the exact opposite of Bitcoin. Bitcoin only ever going to be 21 million. There will never be 21 million because early days, people bought things like pizza and did rewards and ended up with it on a drive somewhere. And there's like 3 to 5 million to be lost forever. So probably we'll end up with maybe 16, 17 million total supply. Then you got a couple whale wallets out there. It's very limited. Meanwhile, Doge is printing faster and going crazy. It's insane.
What is it? It's 10,000 Dogecoin, as a reward to miners. Per block or something like that.
Exactly. 10,000 per block. They're doing 14.4 million per day.
Nice.
It's
trying to figure out why I'm not mining Dogecoin. Let me think.
Well, yeah, let's see.
That would have been nice. That would have been a good thing.
For a
Annalise.
period of time.
Check out Annalise is here too. Look at this. We got all the
OGs today, man.
And they're all coming in and chatting.
Annalise is here. This is good.
Connie's here.
Now, Connie is the original OG. Connie was here. She was like the first subscriber. I kid you not. Here from the beginning. We should have an OG celebration.
Well, we've got a whole Canadian contingent that's up there, and they're stuck. They're stuck up in Canada. They can't travel. They can't leave Canada.
They need to come down to Miami. Maybe we'll have just
still on a lockdown. We need to bring them down here. How do we bring
Canada,
our Canadian friends down here and save them? Bring them down to the free state of Florida. Rob XRP, you are both the pillars of the XRP community. Thank you for your hard work. Now we've got Crypt of Hyrule. Huge support there. Thank you very much. That was awesome. I didn't expect to get so much recognition yesterday. It was really cool that you guys took interest in what I had to say and express it. here's a small token of my gratitude. I really enjoy what you guys do for the community. Much love to you all.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Guys.
that.
Appreciate
Thank you very much.
Crypt of Hyrule.
Big
Appreciate
support.
that.
Big support. Nice. It's always great to see people bouncing in here. And then we've got Legendary.
Legendary's in. Another OG.
I've tried to create a little video thing for Legendary. I think there's
we're getting closer.
I'm gonna get a good one. We're gonna get closer to that one. I found a good one.
We are getting closer, and we'll have to. Well, okay.
The speedboat. Please offer an XRP branding iron in the merch shop. For what a great idea. Man, that would be an awesome idea if we could somehow do that. Could you imagine XRP branding iron, especially if you have cattle? Then you can brand your cattle. But I guess for making steaks would also be a good idea, or burgers or anything like that. What a great idea! Awesome idea.
I don't know how we do that. We have to set up. We need a special vendor for that, but
we need someone who does iron. Doesn't Andrew Nation do something with iron?
No,
Wait, do I remember? Was it Andrew Nation that did that?
Andrew Nation.
Somebody was into iron work. I can't remember who was the iron work person. But hey, so I was thinking about mainstream usage, right? So what is it that holds people back in many scenarios from using digital asset to buy things? And one of them is not being able to retract your payment, because once you put your payment out there, it's pretty much done. So how do you retract it? How do you undo or cancel a payment when it's out in the blockchain, so to speak?
Well, Jeff, you're not supposed to be able to, but
right. You're not supposed to, right? But here's one called Kirobo. They made a button, an undo button. It's more of a software, an app, or something along those lines, where you have to have some coding or whatever that goes along with your transfer. But you can send, I guess you can only send BTC or ETH at this point, but they call it the third step of verification. And I thought it was interesting, because it allows you to cancel or retract. Now, once the other party accepts it, it's done.
It's an intermediary, is what it is.
It's an intermediate, exactly.
It's almost like a crypto escrow, right? This person opts in, this person opts in. You get two opts, and then boom. That way, you have a secure transaction. But you kind of need something, because, gosh,
you do.
Yeah, I know so many people, and I have to tell you, I just went through. I've been putting it off for like a month, or whenever I think it was since April. So I've been putting off the casino coin swap. They moved it over to the XRPL. Holy cow. You have to do it in one sitting, because otherwise you lose track of that and you keep opening new wallets on your Sum wallet. But that one was a lot of work, I got to tell you. So, and I'm pretty seasoned. I've been around the block a lot, but somebody new, yeah, you do that wrong thing and you can undo it. So it basically holds it. It's kind of like, do you remember Google Labs, Jeff, had that one, they had that one feature where you ever, like when you send an email, you read the whole thing and you make sure everything's spelled exactly when you hit send, and as it's going, you're like, no. And Google Labs had that little bit that it didn't really send it. It kind of held it back for like a couple minutes. And then it went and sent it. So it's kind of like this is a delayed send until you get opt-ins from both sides. So it is a good idea technically, but I don't know what kind of traction it's going to get. But would you feel better using something like this if you're sending the equivalent of 20 or 40 grand in Bitcoin?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want to use the way they have it set up right now. I think it still needs to be streamlined a little bit more. It needs to their software needs to be built into a recognized platform, because again, it becomes a platform that you have to use to transfer. But I like the idea of, if I'm sending you money and let's say I make a mistake, or our business dealings in the meantime, something happens, you just have a feeling of comfort where you can retract it. You can recall the payment, but it's not necessary. I think from a business perspective, I don't know if it's going to make so much sense. Maybe on a personal retail level, it does, but on a B2B level, if you can utilize smart contracts, then everything in your contract is baked in to the smart contract, and you don't necessarily need something like this, because
it's more consumer, right?
it's more, I believe it would be more consumer driven. I mean, I keep looking at this, what's going through here, but I like the idea. I like where they're going with it though. This undo button for Bitcoin, I think it's kind of a cool idea. And the
Yeah,
question is, I guess, look at this. You can use your hardware. So it basically you're using your hardware wallet, and they're more of an intermediary, as like a pass through. I like it. I think it's a cool
but look, it
cool
gives you,
concept.
but I mean, a lot of times. So I know somebody too recently that let me know that they just lost thousands of dollars, and because a lot of it had to do with the fact that the problem is you got these ERC20s, and then they got the BEP20s, BEPs 20s, and you have to make sure that you send it the proper way, otherwise that can be lost forever. And it's such a minute like detail, but if you're not, if you get that wrong, it's going to be lost just out there wherever. And so this
Yeah,
does give you a little bit of peace of mind,
but
especially
that's
if
the
you're
other
sending it
part.
to person to person. So yeah,
It-
it's they're on the right track, right?
yeah, you screw up on the address and you hit send, and then you look like, oh shit, wrong address, recall,
Well,
bring it back, resend it.
well,
It's
that's
all
where
good.
paystring too, at
Yep.
the person's name, the dollar sign, and then chip. Of course, not available. Let's suppose it was. There's all these imposters out there
Sweet.
taking all my stuff, like that. I try to get that
All those damn chips
crypto
out there.
one, and nobody's using it. And they're like, well, I was like early to the game. You know what I mean?
I want to say crypto Hyrule is, he's saying you guys deserve it. We have his full support and dedication. Said we've been a godsend for honest and straightforward crypto live news. So basically saving lives from the FUD and speaking the truth. And that's, the base. That's what we, I'm glad that
Yeah,
he
well, that's
sees
exactly
that.
why we're the
That's
slowest
the
growing
bottom line,
channel.
right?
I mean, that's why we're the slowest growing channel, because we're like just inching, man. And it's supporters like you that really make all the difference. And it's the reason we love doing this. I mean, we sometimes review the chat after. We can't see it all because we're too busy jibber jabbering, Jeff. But
Yep.
hey, what's up? Dakota's here. This is like an
Dakota.
OG night. Everyone's
It
in the
is.
house, and Dakota's
Everybody's
watching
here.
live.
Nice. I like it.
Got Annalise in there
Awesome.
watching live. Got Connie. I mean, man, it's phenomenal. And when you think about all the things that you could do, this is fun for us, and it's one of the things we enjoy doing. So those kind of comments, they do help. They keep us going. The fact that we broke 16,000. I mean, in December we were sitting at a little over 5,000. So we've gone a long way in 6 months. Just under
awesome.
6 months. So it is phenomenal. And it's not about it's really not about that. We joke about that all the time. It's more about the engagement we get here. It's more about having those conversations and goofing around too. You guys are clever. You do say some funny things, and it's always fun when you goof on us too. We laugh at it. We don't take ourselves too seriously. But speaking of moving, Jeff, we've seen a lot of people moving and migrating. We just talked about Canada, people migrating out of these states. There's a ton so in Florida, I was just in Texas.
Moving to Miami.
They all come down to Miami. They're all coming to Miami. New Yorkers are coming to Miami. And if you live in Texas, you're getting all the California traffic, right? High taxes, lockdowns. I was in Texas, and there's like, I was like, when you see people say, we'll never go back to normal the way it was. Oh yeah, I was like, it never happened ever. Everything was like normal. People hugging each other. I'm like sitting around talking to guys, hanging out. Just it was a lot of fun. So what do you think is going to happen? Well, companies are going to leave, Jeff.
That's
Look
right.
at this headline.
And look at that. Big move from New York. I like it.
Blockchain.com to move
Huge.
U.S. headquarters to Miami from where? New York. They just lost another one.
See you, New York.
They're based in Luxembourg, but they plan on creating as many as 300 jobs over the next 18 months at this new location.
Nice.
And there's the mayor right there of Miami, Suarez. He was in that picture with Vitalik.
We're gonna get him on the show.
We got to
be on here with us.
Show. Yeah.
I keep meaning to reach out to his office.
Yeah, cryptocurrency exchange wallet blockchain.com moving its U.S. headquarters to Miami. So really, it's great. Miami is becoming, now what's missing is legislation. Like what's happening in Wyoming with what they're doing with banks, what they're doing with, just opening up the freedom, like big a can of freedom, whoop ass, like just, we got to start doing that here. And it's not just Miami. Let's do it for the entire state. Let's make the entire state crypto friendly. Let's start passing some legislation. Let's get out to, let's get DeSantis on the show. And let's start talking to him about like what we need to do to make Miami really, because Miami has all the great things. First of all, it's got culture. It's got just just a beautiful influx of culture from Cuba, all the islands, all very Latin America. You know, you have all of South America there. You get a lot of Brazilians, you know, Chileans, Peruvians. It's a beautiful culture, amazing food from all over the place. And this is fantastic because they're also going to create 300 jobs. It's not like you're just moving here. They're going to 300 jobs. And it wasn't immediately known if any jobs would be lost in New York. Sorry, we're laying off 300 people, but we have 300 new jobs over here, right? So I don't know. Suarez has made attracting tech companies, particularly crypto concerns, to Miami a signature priority of his administration. And that right there, Jeff, is how you get yourself, you know, known, right? Because everybody knows that Miami's becoming, not only, it's been a tech hub for a little bit, but really it's becoming a fintech hub as well. So separately, the mayor.
Really, and we don't want the big tech from San Francisco necessarily. I think we want the new tech, you know, all of the fintech, the financials.
Yeah,
It would be nice. Hey, if Ripple wants to open up an office down here in South Florida, they want like their bridge to Latin America. Hey, come on down here. It's great. You don't need all the burden of being up there in Northern California. This is a great place to be.
Yeah, exactly. So separately, the major also disclosed and CNBC owns Bitcoin and Ethereum and la la la. So it's big news, man. It's good to see. Awesome to see that other companies that have been like, you know, Luxembourg, New York. New York used to be known. It was really heavy for business. So Jeff, what did they want to? What was the talk that they would move an exchange, a stock exchange from New York, where they're all based out of, to where? Miami.
I think they're planning on coming down to Miami because of all the turmoil, everything that's going on over there. But you think about, you know, where, you know, here we are in Florida. Florida's been open. So the main thrust behind all of this, you know, from the governor all the way down, is that we had to keep business going. You have to keep schools open. Kids have been in school here since last August. They're all out of school. You know, they just finished a fulfilling school year, whereas other states haven't. But the one thing that I've seen in Florida, regardless of this past year or not, whenever there's been an economic downturn, Florida is always the last place to feel it and the first place to get out of it. And, you know, and we saw that again, you know, last place to feel it, first one to get out of it. And the impact in Florida was relatively low. But what we need to do for Florida, as they bring more fintech, and the mayor of Miami really leading the way with the digital asset, what he wants to do with Miami, it could be the fintech digital asset crypto city of Florida. We also have to focus, for those that are here in Florida, need to really focus in on what's going on at the state level, state reps, governor's office, House, all of that. You know, we got to go after all of them and make sure that they understand what's going on here. And I've got people coming in, you know, it's crazy because we're working on some local elections right now, trying to fill some local seats over here. And we're kind of, you know, interviewing people, trying to figure out who we can get to run, because it's really important. People don't realize that they want to run, you know, and you got to find people and say, hey, you know, maybe you should run for office, you know, and it's important, you know, it's really important.
So. XRP Speedboat, thank you for the support. It says Lady Liberty has her bug out bag ready. Can you imagine Lady Liberty floating in the Miami harbor right there? And I'm not talking about the boat with Vitalik at it, but
that's a great idea. Why not? Yeah. Bring it down here, right out there. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I have to tell you, man, it's such a. So I wanted to throw something else up here. Well, this one too is good, but there's another story I'm looking for, Jeff. We have so many news stories again.
Well, while you're doing that, let me throw this up here because it's kind of right along those lines. You know, we're looking at, you know, the decentralized aspect of money, of finance, the direction that this country, that every country can move in, which is bringing back money into the power of the people, and, you know, power of the people to govern their destiny. And here, what we're seeing, and this is where, you know, we have a lot of discussion about bringing in increasing corporate tax level. But then now you have this administration has now put their budget proposal. They would like to see a capital gains tax at 39.6%. Now, it's crazy It's crazy. So they want to help pay for whatever their insane budgetary plans are. They want to increase the rate on capital gain. Guess who's paying capital gain tax? Everybody who made money in cryptocurrency. Those people that made that $155,000 in Dogecoin because they bought it at 1,000. Guess what? 39. Let's call it 40%. Let's round up. 40% is going to the government. Forget it. That's your capital gains. You can forget about 40% of it. Now, the problem with all of this insanity, the overreach of this administration and their mindset and their money grab, and it's just horrible. You see this guy, a little clueless look on his face here. But what do they want? Retroactive. They want a retroactive capital gains tax. I mean, how crazy is that? Look at this. The capital gains tax hike would be retroactive to the date of the announcement. So whenever they decided to announce that, now it's retro. It's crazy. Come on. So when it passes, it's now going to take effect whenever they announced it, not when it went into law. Stuff like that's crazy to me. And people need to understand, what's going on, where, look at this, top earners may pay up to 43.4% on long-term capital gains. I'm just mystified all the time. It's like, come on.
Jeff, that's all.
People are trying to do what's right by themselves, and you see the overreach and the overzealousness. You're going to pay 80-90% of your income in tax at the end of the day. That's what's going to happen.
But the thing about that, though, that's all short-lived. That's not going very far.
No, yeah. That doesn't last long. People get angry about stuff like that.
There's a lot of things you get to work. People aren't sleeping anymore. We have people like, I didn't say that, and then they play the videos. That's not me. There's all this kind of stuff, right?
I didn't say that. I didn't do that.
Yeah, I didn't do that. Nobody knows, Jeff. No,
wasn't me. Where'd he go? We lost Chip. Just like that. I don't know what he was about to put up there, but anyhow, stuff like this. It's like, come on. So what else? What else is good here? What can we talk about until Chip bounces in with some other uplifting stuff? Hey, how about Russia exiting the U.S. dollar?
I don't care, Jeff, because I was shocked that they even had a wealth fund. I thought they were bankrupt.
I don't know. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, that's great.
It's like $400 billion, and they reallocated it something else. Like, oh, okay, whatever.
Moving money around.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a smart move. There's no doubt about it. But but check this out right here. Ripple partner. Look at this. She's like kind of like this one kind of snuck up. Yeah, Ripple.
Oh, there we go.
D-Local raised $617 million in its U.S. IPO. Nice. That's a nice thing, right? So D-Local priced 29.4 million shares at $21 a share. It was supposed to be somewhere in the 16. That. Yeah, I missed it too. I knew it was coming too. That's the weird thing. IPO values D-Local at about $6 billion. Of the shares sold, around 4.4 billion were by D-Local and 25 million by current investors. Debut comes amid a flurry of payment companies that went public this year. So you had Paymentus Holdings, you had Flywire, you had Marqeta. They all go public next week. Founded in 2016. Think about that. 5 years later, this company is worth how much? $6 billion, valued at $6 billion in 5 years. So, this space is vital. And, you have something like Ripple paired with XRP, the XRPL, it's going to move all the money. It's going to move a lot of the money, derivatives, you name it, every particular marketplace, it's going to touch. And, it processes payments for global operators in emerging markets. So they're down there in South America. And who are they using?
What do they do with Ripple?
They're a RippleNet partner, so they use Ripple to move the money. That's one of the. So it says the local, and they're big time in the payment space. But hey, look at this! Thank you for that ad. No, yeah, demand D-Local is weird. I don't think they say anything about that in here about D-Local. Now we did the story not too long ago saying that they were going to. I think it was back in May. They filed for their IPO. Pretty fast, right? It happened in a pretty fast way, and
it was really quick.
This one right here, let's see. Yeah, so they D-Local. This came out in April, beginning of April. D-Local Technology First Payments. They appointed a new chief operating officer from where? JP Morgan. So you get all the big bankers are jumping ship, and where are they ending up?
Like that
in the fintech companies, right? In the yeah, Bitcoin. Where are they? All the ex-SEC people, the new SEC people. Gensler's already eyeing an opportunity with D-Local. He's probably trying to figure out we had Brian.
Well, I'm
Brooks
sure.
on.
I mean, I'm sure Gensler's eyeing a position with Ripple.
He's probably going to go work for Ripple. Like, hey, no hard feelings,
sure.
guys. It's like one of these things. I mean, I taught a course at MIT. It was free, for heaven's sakes. Something along those lines. And it's going to be hard to know. But man, look at the time. I want to thank everybody for showing up
tonight. Bring him in for biz dev.
Yeah, potentially. I want to thank everybody for the support, strong support tonight. Thank you guys. Jeff and I love you guys. And, it's Thursday night. We stream 6 days a week. We stream Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time to Thursday. And then Jeff does his solo gig, 8 a.m. on Saturday morning. We'll be back here on Sunday. And
or the roundtable.
Yeah, for the roundtable, which has just generally become the same as this. But
as this.
Yeah, sometimes we have guests, sometimes we don't. And once in a while we'll bring on a guest. So there's a couple of guests I've been trying to get on here, like just people to come on from the community that can come in here and just shoot the breeze with us and talk digital assets. And like we had Mark Phillips on. He's one of our, solid guests that always comes in here and asks all the right questions and has all the really strong feedback.
Yeah.
So
if there's anybody you would like to see specifically on here, let us know. Obviously, anything is reasonable. So if there's someone cool in the crypto space or beyond, we had Congressman Warren Davidson on here. So, give it some thought, shout it out, put it in the comments, let us know next time, and then we'll work on bringing that person. We'll work and see what we can do. And if you guys know anybody like that, go ahead and say, hey, you guys should, tell that person they should be on a podcast and maybe they should come here on the chain and talk about digital asset. The Ledger guys, that'd be a good one too. I like that. That's New York hostage. So a lot of great people to bring on here. But yeah, Chip, I want to say that also. Appreciate everyone here. Thank you to everybody for the support tonight, and we will check you guys out
on the next one.
Have
a good one.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.